Here in Minnesota, we have a very small window to grow green things outside.
Yeah, that's true. So why not get a little bit of a head start and maximize the gardening season? You can start those spring bulbs today. In fact, you should have started them yesterday. Garden Guy Dale Kay is here to show us how it works and how to get the spring bulbs going indoors without killing everything, because that's generally what I do. Anyway.
That's the key.
Yeah.
It's one of the keys. Right?
Things are melting out there, but I still can't see the dirt. So
Yeah.
So there's two things with the winter that we've had. You know, what is it? December, January, February, almost the coldest in like years.
Coldest in 8 years. Yeah.
Coldest
It wasn't
in 8
enjoyable.
years. Yeah. So there's a little bit of like pent up demand for spring, and then you mentioned the short growing season as well. So those two kind of things combined kind of really propel me anyway into at least wanting to get my hands dirty, even though you can't really garden outside. And starting spring bulbs, those bulbs that bloom in the summer. So we're not talking about tulips and daffodils, all those guys. We would have planted them in the fall, put them in the garden. So we're talking about bulbs that don't need that cold period, that bloom in the summer. Gladiolas would be one, dahlias would be another, lilies you can start right now inside as well. So they're the ones we want to get that jump start on, because yes, you could wait till maybe like May when the soil temperature warms up.
and there's always that fake out.
Yeah,
where you want to start planting and then you're like, oops, one more
soil temperatures just fluctuate. It's cool.
Yeah.
So you lose months if you start now in March. Then when it comes time to plant,
suddenly
you already got some plants that are up and going.
Yeah.
Pop them out and bulbs are on full.
You're full bloom in May already.
Right, exactly. Or in June or thereabouts. So what do you need to get started? Well, firstly, a trip to your favorite local garden shop, wherever that may be, to buy the bulbs. And some are tubers, some are like swollen roots, some are true bulbs. There's different kind of, we call them spring bulbs, but there's actually there's true bulbs and then there's tubers as well. Dahlia is one of those ones that's kind of like more like
it's an elephant ear. You can just hang these off your ear.
Yeah, and if you put two of them on, then you'll be
I
perfectly
prefer
balanced.
to eat elephant ears, the treat.
There's an elephant ear treat?
What?
So you need those, right? You need the bulbs. The other thing that you need is good quality potting soil inside for indoor growing, and usually better. You know, the more you pay for potting soil, generally the better it is. Some people think that maybe the blacker it is or the darker it is, that's an indication of quality. That's oftentimes not the case.
Something that's usually, you get what you pay for, at least.
You usually get what you pay for. Go to your favorite local garden shop, talk to them, see what they want to use as far as formulation goes. And that's the best thing for starting bulbs indoors, because you don't want that soil to kind of get too like compacted and gluggy and compacted.
So do you start them in a pot like this, or do you transfer to smaller pots?
So I'm going to use smaller pots like this, and you can use grower pots like this. The great thing is if you have these left over from the previous season, you can reuse these pots. I usually just give them a little bit of a clean out with a dunny brush, a little bit of soap and water.
With a what?
With a toilet brush, and you can. You can just run. That's actually really good, because you've got these little scraper bits that will get all the soil out. You can buy fresh ones as well, but the toilet brush there is a great way to.
You're calling it a Donny brush?
The dunny.
Dunny.
Oh, like toilet.
Didn't know that.
So you can clean them out with that. So that basically, and from there, maybe a little bit of starter fertilizer. This particular potting soil has compost mixed in with it, so that's all I'm going to need for right there. So that's basically all your ingredients. One thing with bulbs, you will find gladiolas at garden shops right now. Those can be direct planted. You don't really need to start those in March, because they are quick growing. So just about everything else you can start now, and then basically those can get direct planted. So it's basically just filling your pot with potting soil. The better the potting soil, the better the bulb.
You can tell I'm craving spring, because I actually thought the dirt smelled good. I've never said that before.
It does smell like spring in here.
It's kind of like exfoliating too. You can
get your hands in there.
I just had a manicure, so no thanks.
Okay, we're going to start.
Awesome.
Dahlias are one of my favorite bulbs to grow, or to start anyway, because they do take a little bit of time. Canna lilies, like the ones you see at the state fair, kind of growing in the, that's another good one that you can start right now. So they're my two favorites to start, and fairly easy to get going.
Now, do you put the whole bag in there, like every bulb, or just one or two bulbs?
So let's see here. Let's see. It's like potluck. So we actually have two in here. So these are the tubers, or the swollen root. This is the stem. So all these fibrous roots are going to go down into the pot. Make sure you pre-moisten your potting soil as well.
So that right there is like one flower.
That's one flower.
Oh, okay.
And if I was going to do two in one pot, I'd just use the bigger pot. They do like a little bit of room to grow. So essentially we'll just set him in there.
Cover them all the way up.
We'll just cover them all the way up.
Okay.
And one good, because it's really, there's no leaves on it, right?
Yeah.
So you really don't need to overwater. One really good drink after you've potted, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and, because all these plants kind of look the same, I'll go ahead and label it so I know what I've got.
Oh, smart.
And then right onto my heating pad right there. And that
Oh,
heating
that's what
pad
that
will
is.
actually raise temperature about 20 degrees above your regular air temperature.
Really?
So, and we talked about soil temperature a little bit before, that these bulbs actually need the warmth of the soil. So sitting the pot on that little seeding pad like that will ensure that the soil temperature is nice and warm. You'll get much quicker growth. Leave that in a nice warm sunny window, and then once it starts to shoot and sprout, then you can go ahead and watch your watering and all your usual kind of watering practices from there.
Once a day?
I like that.
Once a week. Once a week is good.
Ah, see, Dale, I just want to water things so much.
Well, get your hands in the dirt first, then we'll do watering.
gotta
Next
not
week
have a
we'll talk
manicure.
about seeding.
Garden gloves.
Yeah, there's that too.
Do you use those?
Sometimes. Not really.
Oh.
I enjoyed the delay response.
I kind of like those. No, I kind of like. So I've been on vacation, so my hands got really soft.
Oh, I bet.
So now they need to like
Firm up again?
I went somewhere like warm and like instantly. You know that feeling like your skin just like.
Your skin has moisture in it.
Yeah.
That thing.
What the heck just happened? So now I'm like supple and soft, and I got to get back to grizzly and hard.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, just get your hands in some dirt. You'll be grizzly and hard in
He's
no
working
time.
on it.
Dale K, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All
taken
about
out of
spring
context
bulbs.
today.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
moving on.
good day. We'll be right back. We'll take a little break.
Let's do that.